George James Selaty was born on September 24th, 1969. Little seems to be known about his early life, though at some point in time he took an interest in metal music, learning how to play the drums. He was in a band called Hostage that doesn't have very much information on it. George seems to have played drums there too. At some point in time, he played in a band called Tyger, which is listed on the Metal Archives as a melodic metal hard rock band. They were based out of Detroit, Michigan. Tyger released a demo in 1987, but I'm unsure if George was on it, as no personnel are listed. In 1984, the band Cemetery was formed, based out of Center Line, Michigan. They were a metal band, if not an early black metal band, though I suppose the term could be used loosely. Cemetery wrote about the occult with songs like Night of the Living Dead, Season of the Witch, and Up from the Grave. I'm sure some of that inspired by George Romero's movies. They only released one demo titled Up from the Grave, which was released on June 1st, 1985. There were only 100 copies made, all on cassette. These were sold only at shows. The archives list that it was recorded at Mystery Sound in Detroit. Cemetery had multiple logos, so the band name was sometimes spelled with an A instead of the E found in the proper name. Relatively little is known about this band too, though it is rumored that George's grandmother introduced him to the ways of ritual black magic. On October 18, 1986, George accidentally hung himself during Black Mass, as the Metal Archive states. On Discogs, it says that he took his life during a black magic ritual. George was also known, at least in this band, as Silex. There is such little information about this band in general, it's unknown what is true or honestly speculation. After George's death, it seems that Cemetery broke up also in 1986. George was buried at St. Clement Cemetery in Center Line, Michigan. He was 17 years old. He has a Find a Grave page and is linked with his father, George Nicholas Selaty. He actually passed away too, George Sr., though many years later, on February 25, 2018. He is also buried at St. Clement Cemetery. Looking through archives and just various sources on Family Search, it seems that, like for example, in George's obituary, he was George Selaty III, but it seems that George and his father had different middle names, so I'm not sure if that was a typo or whatever. In my opinion, I think that Cemetery was actually really good from the demo that is actually posted on YouTube. They were a little silly, but George actually sounded like a talented drummer. Their guitarist was good too, having some nice solos. I think that they could have had a nice following if life turned out a little differently. Today, there is only one member of the band still living, Jackal, the guitarist. Former vocalist Raven Black seems to be alive too, though neither person seems to deal with music anymore.